I'm running it. Let's go. Nobody has come in. They've all left me to my lonesome. Anything could happen here, guys. What's in my bag this week? Kobe spilt water everywhere. Classic Kobe. My Rubik's Well bag. I love these bags, and you guys often love what's in them. What have I got in there this week? Well, the latest shipment of goodies has come in from... What else have we got here? All right, guys, look at this. My time to shine. Oh, that's a terrible picture that you got there.
Well,
as he sneaks into the studio.
I can't sneak anywhere.
I know. You're infamous.
Well beyond sneaking.
Welcome in, TFG. How you doing, old boy?
Oh, haven't been on for a few weeks.
No, what, you or me? I was here last week.
Yeah, I was not.
No, you were away
and
a bit under the weather.
Yeah.
What were you doing the week before? Oh,
Week
you're
before
up at the Dong.
Up at the Dong, yeah.
Yeah, getting the trophies for your trophy wife.
Yes.
How good was that?
That's awesome.
Congratulations, Miss Catherine. You did amazing, by the way.
She rocks.
Doesn't she?
She's a smart one in the family, which
Lucky.
is not hard when it's only me that go against.
And Bernie. And Bernie, but Bernie's a quick learner.
Oh, yeah. Bernie's on top of you. Bernie is our toy poodle.
A poodle indeed.
It's long.
They're constantly getting its hair cut.
Yeah. Always getting its hair cut.
Isn't it? It's like a fortnightly thing on your Facebook feed.
Is yours the same?
No, mine gets no haircuts.
Yeah.
Mine gets a douse in the kitchen sink, and that's it. Like once every couple of weeks.
Oh.
My little pug, it's got like no hair. Well, short hair.
Yeah. No, Bernie every 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, she can't see.
There you go.
So,
well, enough about dog hair.
And yeah.
You're looking well anyway.
Welcome
back. Welcome back in.
I'm back in here.
Now, before we jump onto your little thing, since I've got my big bag sitting up here.
What have you got in your bag?
Well, let's take a look. That is a very good question there, TFG.
Did I segue that nicely?
You did. We all like what? Well,
we like a good segue.
We like a good bag.
I can see shiny chrome things.
Shiny chrome things.
That says one thing to me: Orca.
Orca. And if anybody knows me, knows us, knows Hearns, Orca is fantastic. We absolutely love this gear.
Most of my cars have got Orca in.
Even said by all my cars have got some sort of Orca in them, whether it's a Speedy or a motor. But yeah, these are fantastic. I think their standout product for me is this Totem speed controller. And I don't have one out of the box, but that is literally the size. It is like the size of a postage stamp, right?
Yeah. I've got about 6 of them in various cars.
They are really simple to use, really robust, down to 13.5 turns. And we're speaking racing speak here. No problem at all. Full censored speedy. Fan can mount on the top if you're pushing it hard. If you're running 17.5 or below, there's pretty much no need for a fan.
Yep. They're
100 amp speedy. They've got reverse polarity protection and built-in capacitors. So you don't have that annoying external capacitor bank. So
I've got built-in capacitors.
A flux capacitor.
Yeah.
Really, really good little robust unit. I absolutely love this stuff. Been running for ages. And I've been touting these motors, these Blitztrine 3s. This is their stock spec motor. So intended to meet and exceed all, stock spec racing rules and actions. The Blitztrine 3, a fantastic stock motor. And I'd been running it and flying the flag, but it wasn't until a competitor brand that I got quite close with actually told me how bloody good this stuff was and how hard it was to actually beat both on a test bed and actually on track performance. Temperature management, power output, and efficiency. These things are absolute rockets.
Yep.
So, yeah, the Blitztrine 3, check them out. We've got them in 21.5, 17.5, and 13.5, all popular stock spec racing wines.
I've been running the 21.5 for 2 years now, the same one. Never touched it, and ain't nothing beats my car down the straight.
No.
Luckily, everyone can go right round me around the corners.
In the corners.
Yep.
And here we have the ultimate, and this is for boffins. This is for stock racing boffins. This is a high-end stock spec speed controller. And Orca did some left-of-center stuff back before it was cool. They did pulse width modulation. Like you can tune the pulse width through the RPM curve. And that was sort of ahead of its time back when they did this. And this is absolutely getting the best out of your stock motor. You get the best punch, get the best mid-range, get the best top end, and the lowest sort of heat loss through the motor. So this WLEB is the ultimate stock spec. If you're looking for every 10th of a second in your stock racing, this is for boffins like Defina.
It's not for people like TFG.
No, or myself. These are for people looking for every 10th. Yeah, full adjustability. It's got the huge super capacitor kit in it. Very big, very high rated speed controller. And then we have the OE1 Mark II. And this is for your mod racing. All the same power outputs and adjustments as a WLB, but this will also do all your turbo and boost functions. Really nice brakes. And
still small.
And still small. And what I love for me with these speed controllers over others that I've used is when you're doing the boost and turbo functions, you can do it as a percentage of throttle. It doesn't have to be at RPM.
Okay.
So say you, I don't know, let's say you're changing your motor in a, which is, it's not so common now to change winds and motors, but it's something that I still like to do. So say if you're changing like an 8.5 motor in your two-wheel drive buggy to a 7.5, the turbo and boost rates are going to be exactly the same on the new motor that you're putting in because they're not RPM based. Because when you're changing a motor wind, you're obviously changing the power band and the RPM. Yep. So you can set it up off percentages of throttle, which I really like with the OE1 speed controller.
That sounds like the sort of thing that I could really stuff up.
Really stuff up.
Yeah.
Well, that's why not. And I'll be honest, not many people race outside of off-road. Not a lot of people race it. And in off-road, outside of four-wheel drive, you're not really playing with a lot of boost and turbo.
No.
You know, it's only really four-wheel drive on really, really high bite tracks, you know, like Keilor, where you're really playing with it a lot. Other than that, you're pretty much setting it for the straight and the jumps, like in your two-wheel drive, and you don't touch it.
Yep.
So, but in on-road, you're changing it. Side degradation, you might have first run or second run tires. You'll knock a bit of boost out of it so it's not lighting up out of corners. But nobody really runs TC modified anymore.
No.
Outside of the big guns.
Yes.
Orca sensor cables, these are Teflon ones.
I got some of those. I haven't put it in the car because they just look so cool.
They look really cool.
It's
a thicker gauge wire. It's a really cool and they're like Teflon. Yeah. I don't know about it, but sensor cables are something when brushless motors come out. Oh my God, we used to chew through them, right?
Yeah.
Seem to be always problems with sensor cables. Now, since technology has changed, we don't have those problems. But if you are racing at a high level and serious competition, I would recommend putting quality sensor cables in, and Orca has them.
I just bought them because they were clear.
They look cool, don't they?
Yeah, that was all I needed.
13 gauge wire. This is the gauge of the people in 10 scale racing. It's really nice. It's really good to work with. Proper copper wire, high strand count, so it's really, really flexible. You can see that it's not just tinned.
Yep.
It is actual copper wire. A little bit tricky to work with because the solder the flux can wick up.
Yeah.
So you've got to be on top of your soldering game. But again, if you're doing a high quality install and you're doing everything right, this is the wire that comes with the speedies. And if you're rewiring or refitting your car, doesn't matter what brand speed it is, the Orca wire is like the best in the business. Now, talking of solder, oh my God, solders ain't solders. Now, this stuff here.
What about oils? Are they ain't oils?
They can be, but often not. Okay. We don't talk about oil at the moment. It's a bit of a sore point in the world. I don't know.
I don't know.
Something going on with Hormuz or something.
Back to solder.
Back to solder.
And kebabs.
Here we have high gloss solder. Now, I thought that this was crap at the beginning, but I don't know how they do it. But if you care about your soldering joints and you want them looking amazing, give this stuff a try. This is amazing solder. It gives you a beautiful, nice round ball, and it's like chrome. When it flashes off, it is absolutely amazing. It's really easy to work with.
It's not as cool as that special white solder that you were using a while ago.
Well, that was based off this technology, and I added a little ingredient to it. But yeah, this solder, if you guys, like I said, if you were doing really nice wiring, check this stuff out.
I've actually got some of that, and it's really nice.
It's just easy to use. I don't know why, because you think solder's solder, but it is not.
No.
It's the complete opposite to Aromax silver solder. Aromax did a 4% silver solder, and it was hard to use, super strong, great for 8 scale. It was really hard to use, looked crap, because you needed so much heat in the join.
Yeah.
It didn't come up glossy, but oh my God, it was super strong. Perfect for 8 scale. This stuff here, this is what I'll be using on all my installs since. Well, I mentioned before the top spec WLEB speed controller comes with the super capacitor pack. This is what you need. This is that they sell this as a spare part, and you can put it not only with Orca stuff, you can put it with other brand stuff as well. And this is the kind of capacitors that will run your servo after the battery's unplugged.
Yep.
Jesus. They can store that much power, and all that does is eases up the load on the ESC, and can take some temp out of your stuff. So it eases up the load. Apparently gives more punch, but I think it's just making the ESC's life easier. But it's really a trend thing for stock racing, right? I don't know. That's a stock's so much harder than mod in many ways. Here we have the noise killer, and this has been popular since certain brands, which I won't mention, of servos have been browning out radio gears. So certain servos can draw excess current and create current spikes through your receiver and actually causing brownouts with your radio. So this is designed to stop that. It's a little capacitor that you plug into your receiver, and it acts exactly like the big bank here for your motor, but it does it for the receiver. So it gives you that little curve, that little cushion of power for your servos.
I'm more impressed that neither of us giggled each time you said brown.
Brown out.
Yeah. Because normally we would have been right there.
Well, you've done a lot of research on the brown note. And
yes.
You've not found it yet.
No.
But you've had fun trying.
You can't beat it. That's the sort of research I like to do.
So that's what's in Brett's bag. Orca stuff. Get amongst it. Yep. I love it.